BSL.
So welcome back everyone. I hope you can hear me. I'm here with Mr. Nayoken and I'm replacing Mr. Rapid because it's probably too late in Korea for him to do it right now. I probably he didn't woke up, right, because he was setting up the alarm for the time being.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just slept through it. I mean, it's very late there. It's what, like 1 a.m. So, I mean, he's heroic to do BSL, but yeah, he's not here this time. Hopefully nothing happened. I mean, we don't know where he is, so hopefully nothing happened to him.
Oh yeah, let's hope everything is fine and he's just sleeping. It's right, like it's right assumption, right?
Yeah.
So sorry, I wasn't prepared to cast today, so I'm not shaved, but I hope you will all forgive me for that. So Mr. Nayoken did a great job with solo casting, but I'm afraid about his throat because it's like maybe too much to cast solo 10 games.
Yeah, I mean, solo casting is completely different than duo casting. You have to, yeah, it's completely different. I'm definitely happy that you decided to co-cast with me so we can get a Zerg perspective, not just the Terran perspective all the time.
It will be Zerg perspective in PvT because we will have lancerx versus TTF. So these are the profiles of the players. So who do you think is favorite over here? Like Lancer or TTF? Do you know them?
I have limited experience versus both these players since they're from Europe. You know, now with the new ladder, I don't get foreigners nearly as often. When I play lancerx, he's pretty good. When I play TTF, he's pretty good. So I would assume that they're probably even, but because, you know, I don't know how TTF plays. His game versus Jaeyoon actually looked really good. Maybe we're a little too greedy, but other than that, it looked pretty solid. But I have to say that we are on the map that I hate, Bloody Ridge. How does a Terran let this happen? He must not watch VODs, or he has something very special planned. I hope he has something very special planned, because if he doesn't, this is just going to be a carrier nightmare. But I mean, he is going up against lancerx, who, in my experience, is pure gateway man. So maybe this is a smart pick versus lancerx, so you don't have to deal with carriers. I don't know.
Oh, maybe it is. You're right. But do you think like 2 players map is better for a Protoss than for a Terran?
Oh well, if you think if you ask the majority of Terran players, they would say, "Oh, it's definitely good for Protoss. Doesn't even matter what map it is because they just get the probe in your base, they gas steal you, they proxy gate you. Even if the probe doesn't gas steal you, they just harass your building SV. It's so annoying to deal with on 2-player maps versus Protoss. So I would favor Protoss in probably all 2-player maps, but especially this one.
Okay, so maybe let's get started and see who is going to be better on this map.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go.
Right in the top right, we have the Terran player. It is TTF.
And in the bottom left position, we have a Russian Protoss player. It is lancerx.
Yeah, and this is something that I forgot, that they're both Russian. That means that they probably play each other on the ladder quite often, or they might be friends and they, play private games quite often. So, like I was saying, this is such a weird map choice that this could be just because both players know each other's style.
Yeah, that might be true. And recently there is so many Russian tournaments only for Russians that they are probably, even if they are not practicing together, they play a lot against each other in the LANs because there a lot of participations from Russia there are in this tournament. So they probably know each other quite well. So you are probably right. This is like probably map fitted into knowledge about certain things about certain player.
So does TTF have an AKA? Like Gornich had an AK that I recognize. Before that, I was like, who's Gornich? then I saw his other ID and I knew exactly who he was. But so does TTF have a different ID that I would potentially recognize, or has he just always been TTF?
I don't know his other nicknames. I think he has always been TTF. If someone from Russia knows who he might be, can let us know, but I don't know different nicknames of his.
Okay, well, we've got standard play from TTF going for 12 gas, and you can see that he's already worried about proxies. He's scouting his natural, scouting the third base. So clearly he's at least played on this map, which personally I've never played on this map. I've just watched this map, and there's a lot of cool games from Flash on here, like a super epic Terran versus Protosses, but if I was to play it, I would think it's a nightmare. But we've got Lancer going for a standard play also, just standard cybernetics, no zealot. This is not Bonneth, not going to be rallying that zealot across the map.
Yeah, that's. I thought that Zealot first was a new meta that Protoss are starting like more often even than a Fast Dragoon, but somehow Lancer decided to go for Fast Dragoon. Probably because of that he will have a quicker range, right?
Yeah, he's going to have quicker range. He could hide tech. Now the SCV saw the hidden pylon, or the pylon in front of the natural, so it's not going to be any hidden tech this time. But if he hadn't seen the pylon, he would have to be a little bit worried that is this guy hiding tech somewhere, which can really put Terran on edge. And we've been seeing a lot more zealot play. Well, maybe not in the past like month or 2 months, but in the past 6 months we saw it a lot because Terrans were going for that 3 Marine expand quite often. And the reason for the 3 Marines was to stop the Dragoon, but if you can hide a zealot and then still get the Dragoon at the same time, all of a sudden 3 Marines don't stop a zealot.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So we see Terrans nowadays usually going for 2 Marines and for a bunker, and that looks like what TTF is going to go for. And all that does is just allow him to skip siege if he wants. He can go into faster command center. He's just gonna have those extra 50 minerals and don't have to go into the Marine. Now the SCV did get in, saw that Dragoon came out, but he didn't really see anything else. And did that probe get taken down? Because I don't see it anywhere. I guess it went back to the base, but he's in the dark now. Oh, SCV, can it get away?
I think he's buying time for the bunker to finish, so that was like probably a good move from him. I don't know, actually, but he will be pretty safe. It looks like a normal game for me. Lancer is also going for fast expansion, so we will have a normal PvT, I think.
Yeah, the SCV, even though it went down, did buy time for the bunker. Like you said, if you can ever not build a bunker, that's amazing. And also, not having to build the bunker so fast has allowed TTF to get a faster tank out. Now, even though I said you don't have to go siege with this faster bunker, he is going to get it. I guess he's gotten busted on this map too many times. If we look at the entrance, it's actually pretty wide. So I don't blame him for going for fast siege mode here. Behind us, we do see Lancers playing pretty standard. Nexus follow-up after 3 goons. He's not... Ooh! Okay, I thought those Dragoons were going to try and jump on
Yeah, he
something.
was hungry for this tank, but then he calculated that, okay, it will not work. And if it will, I will lose 2 Dragons, so it's not worth it.
Yep, but he did poke and see the command center, and when you see a bunker this far out, you always got to be a bit suspicious of what Terran's doing. If you don't see the command center, you've got to start being worried about 2-fact, starport, so a smart move.
So
but
he was scouting that there is command center there, right? With the Dragoons.
Yeah, he wanted to confirm that it's an expansion,
smart.
because if you're going 1 gate, not building Dragoons, which is what he has done, I think he missed 1 cycle, then you can die pretty easily. But what he did lose here is because those Dragoons took some hits. Look at the barracks. The barracks is pumping out more Marines. He's not going to see it. This is going to be some type of FD push, delayed FD push off of 1 fact. This is similar to what Ample likes to do. We don't see a second factory, so TTF looks like he's going to expand behind this, but this is going to be strong regardless.
Yeah, definitely right. This will be very powerful, especially that Lancer have splitted Dragoons, so he'll have 2 Dragoons on top of his natural and 2 Dragoons like in the middle of the map out of like they will not help in this engagement, and he didn't even scouted that, so it would be very good for Lancer to scout that at least right now, so he can get back this, because even with 5 Dragoons it wouldn't be that easy to hold that.
Zero, is this game just done? Like, half of the army of lancerx is on this ramp. He didn't even see the army coming. And TTF is going to have mines. we don't have an observer out just yet. He's going for a shuttle, so there's no observer. And Lancer's in desperation mode. He's scrambling to get back those 2 Dragoons. This is 3 tanks. Remember, he already has siege.
Oh yeah, and Lancer is waiting for the river, but it's only halfway done, so it's still a lot of time until it will be done. There are these 2 Dragoons which are trying to catch reinforcements, but I don't know if it will work. Still 3 Dragoons left, still 3 tanks left. And yeah, there will be bunker. With bunker it will be much harder to bust this push.
Oh, and look at this. This is an extremely punishing position. He's going to get bunker up. He's got an eBay wall going up. This Nexus might go down, but luckily a Reaver's already out. And the tanks are really clumped together. If he can get into that sweet spot, like, look at the tanks, they're in like a triangle. If he can get right in the middle, he can just blast down these tanks. I don't know if he recognizes it, but he really could get a lot of damage done. Here he goes with that shuttle. Is he just going to counter? He's just going to counter. I guess he's going to give up the Nexus. It's already dead. I didn't even realize.
I mean, that's one of the options you can do, but I thought that defending with the Nexus is most important, but I think Lancer gave up on the Nexus and then now decided to deal a lot of damage to TTF, and actually he's not having anything in the main base. There are only 2 Marines, and the tank will pop out in a second. That will be good for him.
Yeah, and TTF, he's in a good position right now, but he's in a little bit of trouble because he has no units. He's been rallying them all across the map. Reaver got a few kills. He still doesn't recognize no SCV pull. This mineral line is going to get wiped out, but he still has 3 factories, but he needs to get more tanks, and because he's only got 1 add-on, slowly building 1 tank at a time. Oh, speed already for the Reaper.
Yeah,
oh,
boom. No.
Well, lancerx did lose his natural, but he's coming back. But that gets all the Marines, but the shuttle's pretty low. Reaver hasn't really taken much damage, but at least he has an armory, so he can get a Goliath out pretty soon. Good Reaver shot right there.
There will be Goliath in a second. What? Oh, there's so many civis in the natural. Oh, he transferred some of them, but still, there might be some juices. Oh, another good just scarab shot.
Yeah, but this has definitely got Lancer back into the game. He does need to get his Nexus up somewhere, whether it's at the natural or at a 3rd base, because TTF is still on 2 base, but he did eliminate tons of SCVs. If we take a quick count of the SCVs, it looks like TTF is down to... Whoa, he's just pulling all his... What? He's pulling the boys!
Oh my god, he's going all in into that. What is going on in this game?
This is a disaster. These tanks, really, there was not a lot of tank support or support for the tanks because they had to deal with this Reaver, and Lancer busts out easily. Meanwhile, these 7 SCVs that wanted to get into the fight, they weren't mining. But at least he still has 2 command center, but Nexus has gone up. Lancer did break out. He's still got a good army. 3-gate. Reaver is still alive. He's got double shuttle, which is very dangerous from Terran's point of view. And Sniper Ridge, look how open the main is. Like the left side of the main, you can fly in from so many angles.
Yeah. Oh, very cute move with the engineering by blocking the Nexus from Lancer and killing the probe, so it will delay his third for a second. But you are right, after seeing like Lancer have still 2 shuttles after defending this push, there is a huge potential for harassment for him right now. Especially that he's adding 1 more river, so he will have 2 rivers soon with a quick shuttle. That's a good, like, eventually it turned out that Lancer defended that push actually well.
Yeah, Lancer, I was pretty confident he was dead when the Nexus went down, because this is like Tau Cross. Like, look at the entrance to your base. If you get depot walled there, how do you ever get out?
Oh yeah.
But he did manage to get out. He's got his Nexus up. He's double expanding, so his econ is going to kick in pretty soon. Now, something that TTF has going for him, he's already got +1, but because the Reaver harassed him so hard, he's not able to get his starport up, get that +2 going. But he still has a strong army. He's only down 10 supply. He's got a lot of Goliaths, a lot of tanks this time. But he's got to be careful. Yeah, with +1. Oh, there's those shuttles on the right side. Oh, he's coming. Oh.
Whoa. Oh, it was 1 shot left.
I actually thought Lancer was going to engage right there. All of his Dragoons were on the right side, but he moved back to the middle. That would have been probably a killing move. Dragoons from the bottom with Reaver shots firing over the top. But for now, TTF has survived. He definitely needs to get a 3rd base because he saw that lancerx wanted to double expand. So you want to match the expansion timing of Protoss.
And this third bait isn't, like, it's not looking very hard to take. Like, if he will only slowly siege mode on siege... Oh my god, it was a... But it might be a good engagement for Lancer. He needs to target fire. Yeah, good job with target fire the river. But now this
really
river...
No!
Oh, distraction. Rivers are Gosu in this game.
Reavers are nuts! Now, luckily only one Scarab went off there, so these players are going to trade their armies. But that could have gone a lot worse for TTF. He focused down that first Reaver, which was great. But now that the third Nexus is up, Lancer's Econ's going to start kicking in big time. Taking a look into his main, I don't see any other tech, do you? No Citadel, no Stargate, no nothing. At least TTF is still not out of it just yet. At least he's not dealing with, you know, Mass Gateway Man or carriers at this point.
So that's the benefit of that push from TTF, that Lancer didn't have enough time to go for a higher tech. So it's at least this is what's going on going right for him.
Yeah, exactly. Vulture trying to get in here, not gonna find any kills. But he did at least see the probe go up there, so he knows that. Ooh, Vulture gets in. Can he see anything? No, it's taken out. Luckily. Meanwhile, TTF building his third command center. He started his starport, so we are going to just transition into a standard game. Now, I don't know what TTF's best option is. In Terran versus Zerg on this map, you can just sit. Like, I've actually watched a game of Flash. He never attacked, just went back and just sat. But on this map versus Protoss, a little different. If you just sit and let them build up carriers, it'd be pretty hard to defend that, but I still don't see any Stargates, so Lancer's just going to go with his style. He loves gateways. Another shuttle comes out. I guess he wants to bulldog him again.
Oh, it's a new style. Like, if you already have a speed shuttles, why wouldn't you use it on top of the tanks? Especially that there are only 3 tanks from TTF. He lost like 7 in this early push, and now his tank count is very, very low. So, like, securing this third base and going to 150 supply should be his goal right now, I think.
Yeah, and I like what Lancer's doing. He's got the Observer over the mines. He sees the tank count, and what does he do? He expands, because he knows when Terran has 3 tanks, they can't attack you. You can give Terran a third base, you're fine, as long as you keep Terran in check afterwards. Oh, he's just going to go for his speed shuttle, Zealot Bomb.
But will it work?
There's no mines, though. Why didn't he drop?
Oh, now he cleared all the vultures, so now the Zealots will be much more cost efficient, but like, it looks like this is too much of Lancer, he's just destroying him. Will Terran hold it? Like, the bunker is very powerful and there is no splash damage unit, but... Oh, the mass repair for the victory, no. So I believe Lancer busted him, right?
Yeah, Oh, he's going to jump on that tank, but he's probably going to lose a lot. These Dragoons are very softened up. The bunker's holding strong. 3 or 4 Dragoons go down there. SCV's body blocking right there. Another Dragoon almost goes down, but he reset the tank count. And he also saw a dropship come in. And dropships, oh, is he going to go again? He did kill the tank, so he's going to try one more time, but repair pretty...
Oh,
no
he wants to lower the number of the tanks so badly. Like, he killed like 3 of them just like that, and there is only 2 machine shops from TTF, so only 2 tanks on the time.
Yeah, now this isn't something you see every day. We've got a 2 Goliath drop to mid left, but unfortunately a Dragoon's already sitting here, and these are already damaged Goliaths. The Dragoon may be able to clear it out on its own.
Oh yeah, if it would be Vultures, it might be better result out of that. Oh, and he's still producing Weavers, I mean Lancer.
Yeah, Reaver just popped out going into the main. Well, I guess he's decided that that drop's going to fail. Smartly, he's going to leave. But even though the drop didn't do any damage, he got a full scout off, sees that it is still just gateways. He confirmed there's no Stargate, there's no Templar Archive even. But Lancer's done a good job just denying this third base forever.
And with this dropship, he also like pulled all the army from Lancer to his main base, so he like bought himself a lot of time thanks to that move.
Yeah. So, what is TTF's move? I just checked his armor. He got +1 armor going. Says he doesn't even have +2 weapon started just yet, and he desperately needs +2 weapon. He needs to get +3 weapon ASAP also. because he's got to camp it out now. Protoss is too big at this point. Our best chance of winning the game is to go for the long game. And here comes Lancer again. Another Zealot bomb! Big hit!
But he intercepted the river in the shuttle before it got unloaded, so at least that's working for him. But still, a lot of tanks are dying. These barracks are buying so much time for TTF. And look at the supplies. Somehow it's like very even right now.
Yeah, I don't know how it's so even. I mean, Lancer is losing a lot of units, but he's killing a lot of units at the same time. So this is just a testimony to how well TTF is macroing. Like every time I look at his factories, constantly spinning. Now, this is something... Oh, okay, TTF just fixed it. But at the natural, he had 2 SCVs on gas for a long time. But he now just fixed it. He's put 4 on there. I was a little worried that he would forget about it because he's... Not that he's gas starved, but we were starting to get a little bit low on gas there. But TTF has secured his 3rd base now. So he's got that going for him. But he is mined out in his main. He needs to get a 4th base, but... Bloody Ridge is a really hard map to get a 4th base. Look how far he's got to go to get bottom right. If he tries to get top middle, you've got to travel so far to defend it. So really, Terran is pretty strong on 3 base here, but after that is when it starts getting a little scary.
Yeah, you have to have like a very good position. So when you play in this map, you need to like consider that option that it will be hard for you to take a 4th base. So like from TTF perspective for future, I wouldn't lose so many tanks at the beginning because now he would have like 14 tanks and it would be much easier for him to move out in the open area because now like moving out in the open area means that you will be crushed.
Yeah, he's just going to lay a ton of mines like he did versus JU, and that's exactly what he needs to do. And he's going to try and slowly take the 4th base, I think. He just doesn't have the factory count to go for... Well, he might actually go for a big bust, because +2 is kicking in pretty soon. I see he's got EMP started, and we look back at Lancer's base, I just now see the Arbiter finishing. So if he's able to get off an EMP on like a big Zealot ball, EMP can deal hundreds of points of damage in an instant, and all of a sudden, this really scary looking Protoss army just vaporizes. And if he can have one really good strong attack, he can bust bottom middle. He may even try and just bust through the main. That's probably what I would go for because there's really not a lot of buildable terrain anywhere else. It's not like you're playing Fighting Spirit where you're building 10 gateways at another main. So I'd probably just go for the kill move.
Yeah, but it's a very cute move from TTF. He have 2 dropships loaded in the tanks, so 4 tanks with plus few vultures can clear some bases, and he badly needs to kill this 11 o'clock or 6 o'clock base because it's now it's 5 bases against 3, so it's definitely advantage for Lancer, especially as you said earlier, it's harder to take 4th base for Terran right now, so he will have to kill 1 base or kill Lancer right now.
Yeah, he was channeling his inner fantasy for a while with the double dropship. Had 4 tanks in him. Oh, he just loaded them up again. 1 dropship going to the top. Gonna try and shut this down. But 4 tanks is pretty expensive. He doesn't have many tanks left over. He's got 10 total if you get rid of those 4. I love this one Reaver just being annoying, keeping TTF back.
Yeah, and thanks to that Reaver, TTF is moving very slowly and every second is working for Lancer advantage. So he knows what he's doing and he's waiting for the Arbiter and that's what he's doing. And plus 10 Dragoons in production. That's also nice.
TTF with a cute move at top middle. 1 tank on the high ground, 1 tank on the low ground, but Lancer's got his army split. Sure, he might lose a few units here, but unless there were like 5 or 6 tanks, he's not going to lose that much. He's just going to send in a Zealot. That's all you need.
But I think TTF showed us how you can defend this base relatively easy as a Terran. Like, put 3 tanks on the low ground, 3 tanks close to this Vespon Geyser, and overall it should be pretty well defended against Protoss.
Yep, but wasn't able to get the Nexus for now. And if you're Terran in this point of view, you're feeling the pressure now, because Lancer's taking a base on your side of the map. You're just getting strangled out. So TTF, He's probably setting up for a big 3-3 attack, and if that doesn't work, probably just going to exit the game, because still no attempt to even take a fourth base at this point. I don't see a command center being built anywhere.
So as a Lancer, would you start making gateways somewhere else than in your main base, just to have them in your map, in case your main base would be killed?
I mean, I would if this was a different map, but I'm looking all over the place. Where do you build it? Like, there's like these rocks everywhere that prevent you from building.
Yeah, it's like there are only few areas where you can build gateways, and then there would be like maybe 6 gateways max would fit there. So yeah, it's actually very hard in this map to do it.
Well, here comes TTF.
Oh,
his army is massive, and
yeah, that's huge.
There's only one Arbiter though, and that could come back to bite Lancer, because, like I said, EMP, ridiculous. +3 is about to kick in for TTF also. And especially if TTF can get on this high ground and have a trade. Like 4,000 bank for Lancer is pretty big. That's, what, like 3 cycles of gates? But I don't know if that's enough, honestly.
Yeah, but there will be a recall soon, right? Like, the Arbiter is already going over there. There is a lot of turrets, but I think he should be able to cast recall before the Arbiter dies.
Yeah, he might be able to cast recall, but TTF is pushed almost entirely across the map. Where are those tanks? They're still sitting on the high ground. Meanwhile, a tank drop at the top is actually going to get this Nexus, I think.
Yeah, he's still working on that. That's a really good move from TTF.
This Arbiter, here comes. He's going in for the recall. I don't think it's going to get off. This is 7 turrets. There's no minefield, though. Lancer, he's decided that he doesn't need to fight this army. He's just going to loop around. But TTF, he scanned and saw it. But he needs to siege. All those tanks are clumped up.
Do it. But Lancer is going for it, like, just with A move, Proto style. Oh.
Yeah, but he just lost his Arbiter with the recall, right? And he just got the other Arbiter EMP'd, and the EMP hit a bunch of units. So if TTF wants to attack, this is the time to go.
And
meanwhile, he's killing bottom middle.
6 o'clock, yeah, 6 o'clock base. But the only bad thing for TTF is that he's only mining from this 3 o'clock base, so he badly needs one more base. And even in the middle, it would be not bad for him to take it. But one more income would be really good for him, because like Lancer can A move, lost everything, and rebuild his army one more time with the amount of cash he has.
Yeah, there's just too many resources for lancerx that TTF, if he was maxed, I would probably be a believer in somehow stalling out this game. But because he's at 156, he's going to lose these units pretty much for free. I just don't think he has the supply. And I agree, he should take the middle. It's an underestimated base. Just like on Fighting Spirit, it's like if we take the middle, it's really not that hard to reinforce. Meanwhile, this drop at top has done so much work.
Yeah, he can just target fire the Nexus now. Oh, and he's doing that, right? Or no, he's going for the probes.
He's gonna kill the probes right now. Command Center has finally started at bottom right. I just think it's a little too late.
Yeah.
And now we're getting spread out extremely far. Tanks in the middle. Oh, Lancer's gonna move down to bottom right and kill it.
And Lancer is also having pretty good upgrades. It will be 3-2 in a second, so we don't often see that good of a replay upgrades for a Protoss in PvT. 2 Forge upgraded.
Yeah, he's about to have +3 weapon. He's gonna be matching the Terran upgrades, which is pretty good. I'm a big fan of getting all the upgrades if you're gonna go for upgrades. But 3-2, pretty good. He should start plasma shields pretty soon. Meanwhile, Lancer taking bottom middle. I mean, he just really hasn't lost much. He's just constantly got this huge bank, whereas TTF, he just can't mine anywhere. Eventually, he's got to do something to get a base. I don't think top is the base to kill. Here comes Lancer, though. He just probably wants to end it. Look at all these tanks!
Oh, they don't see the incoming army, so it will be disaster for TTF. Oh my god, he didn't know this. So this was the most important moment for tanks to shoot.
A huge stasis at the top gonna eliminate those tanks, but meanwhile these 5 tanks at the bottom are doing work, but there's just so many Dragoons. Well, is he gonna actually hold? No, I don't think so. Lancer, He's going to move to the top side. Oh, he does
He
hold.
will hold. And he will kill 12 o'clock base in the same time, so well done by TTF. But still,
Yeah, nicely done. But look at mid-right. We're down to 200 minerals on all of our patches. That means we've got maybe like 1,500 resources total available, and that's it. And Lancer has a 4K bank.
yeah, it got lower from the last time I checked, but it's still 8 times more than TTF have right now. And Lancer stole his mineral from the TTF part of the map from 12 o'clock, because in theory it should be TTF map base.
Yeah, so he didn't take that much, but it is something that could come into play if this game gets stalled out. And lancerx, he wins. He went to bottom right. There's no command center there, so he should know that he's got the game. If I was him, I would just spam out arbiters, and I look back into his main. That's exactly what he's doing. He's got 3 more arbiters coming. All you need to do is just have as favorable trades as possible. No, you can't move these tanks down here. They're gonna get caught.
Yeah, every lost tank is disaster right now for TTF, because he can't reproduce them.
Yeah, these tanks actually cannot be replaced. He's just so broke in the next minute or so. You can see that he's trying to get bottom right. He's got all of his units positioned there. He's got a command center waiting to take a base. Lancer, he knows that that's the focus, and he's sending his entire army over there. He even got energy on his arbiters. They've already got 80 energy. He just needs to wait about 30 seconds, and he'll be able to stasis the entire Terran ball.
Oh, this is my favorite unit, when the base is empty and when the STVs are moving around. Let's see how many STVs TTF have. Like, it's not too many, but it's definitely enough to saturate one base.
Here we go. This is going to be probably the game-ending move. We've got 2 stasis available. EMP is perfect. It's
Oh,
both
nice
of them.
EMP, really good job. Yeah. But still, it's like too big of a Protoss power over here.
Yeah, there's just too much, and Lancer has identified that, hey, you've got no units in your main, so he's just going to attack there. He doesn't even need to fight this Terran army on the right side. And this is going to be TTF being eliminated by lancerx.
Oh yeah, this is the loser's match. So loser of that match will be eliminated from the BSL Proleague, but he will still gain some BSL points just for advancing over there. So that's good.
Yeah, and TTF looked good. If he gets into BSL next season, he's definitely a strong Terran. I was really liking his play versus Jaehyun. I loved the tank attack that we saw at the beginning of the game, but the Reaper just did so much damage.
Yeah. The reaction wasn't on point, actually. He didn't pull STVs on time, and then Lancer showed us some good micro, so... Yeah, overall it was a good game from TTF. I like what he showed to us.
Yep. So we are just waiting for the GG. TTF's playing to the end. He's got another tank drop at bottom middle. I mean, he's like, lancerx is about to mine out too. He's going to be mined on the top left, but there it is. GG.
GG.
Really nice.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm a bit sad that Terran got knocked out, but I am happy that we got to see a pretty epic game. I was really expecting to see carriers, but with it being lancerx, we got to see something different. And the shuttle harass was really nice. There were so many moments that I thought his just Zealot Bomb and Dragoons were going to end the game, but
yeah,
TTF managed to hold on.
Yeah, and then was this moment after the 3 or 4 attacks of Lancer when we saw that there was a 110 supply for Lancer and 100 for TTF after losing like 4 engagements in a row. That was incredible from him. Yeah,
I don't know how he did it, but he did manage to keep up. But it's just how the map is. You can't ever lose control because it just starts snowballing like so hard.